Hey guys, this is Heel Spiel with J&J, and I am your host for this episode, Justin. And today I'm doing a review of All Out 2019. This year in All Out looks pretty amazing. Jon Moxley versus CM Punk is going to be fantastic. So, to celebrate the new pay-per-view of All Out, I thought it'd be fitting if I reviewed the first ever All Out. That was pretty much a giant pay-per-view event for AEW. We saw a lot of new up-and-coming stars that became the pillars of AEW. From Chris Jericho to Darby Allin to Adam Heyman Page. Actually, this pay-per-view started the journey of Adam Page to become the AEW World Champion. This started a 1.5 year storyline where Page just could not win the AEW World Champion. For the first match of the show, we have Cal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky versus Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt. This match was pretty fun. Very, very fun. A lot of good spots, a lot of good chemistry between the two teams. I gotta say though, the only complaint that I have, the only major flaw, the biggest flaw with this match is Marco Stunt. Look, I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm not trying to hate on a wrestler, but come on, man. You have to admit, he's very unbelievable of a talent because the whole goal is to make your match look real or to tell a story. To me, he loses me at both. Him pushing Kazarian outside of the ring, him doing his hurricanranas, him trying to, overall get any sort of offense to me is very unbelievable. But besides that, this match was great, alright? The two teams put on a very good show, the spots were great, and seeing basically the catapult of Jungle Boy is honestly great. Seeing the growth from back then to now has been astonishing. I think that he's overall the breakout star of the team easily. His current feud with Christian has been a very good feud so far. It was not boring at all. The spots were mainly very, very solid. And honestly, I gotta say, it was just two great teams going at it for about 20 minutes. Very good opener match. This match was a solid 3 out of 5 stars. Now, this one is a barn burner. Pac versus Kenny Omega. Now, guys, if you ever saw our first ever video of our top 10 of all time wrestlers, Omega is in my top 10 of all time. I love Omega. I think Pac is also amazing as well. And Pac is now your current All-Atlantic champion. And Pac's booking across these 3 years has been weird. It's been full of ups and downs. It's been a bit wonky, but overall strong booking because, again, he is currently a champion. He also is in the tournament for the Trios tag belt. So honestly, he's doing a very good job. And Omega, wow! He had an amazing last year run with belts from Impact, AAA, and of course AEW. Omega has had a great 3 years, really. I mean, every year has so much progression from the Adam Page feud, which was just perfect. From being tag team champions to then being enemies. So much suspense for months. But before all that, it was just Omega, the golden boy from Japan. Honestly, Pac winning, I was like, oh, he beat Omega? Well, that was cool. Okay. Very good stuff. These two have some of the best chemistry. If you see their match on Dynamite, where it was a 30-minute Iron Man match, very great match. This match, though, was pretty much a preview of that match. And I gotta say, these two have so many awesome spots, amazing chemistry. Again, go watch it. Great shit. And also, the ending was very unexpected in a great way. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Amazing match. Our next match is between Darby Allin, the bad boy Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc. Now, this was before Havoc overall got canceled, so does not look great in the grand scheme of things, but hey though, besides that, these three put on a very good match. And usually I'm not a big fan of Havoc personally, or of the bad boy himself, but I gotta say though, these three killed it. These three had such great chemistry, honestly, and the spots were so well done. I loved how in the first minute of the match, Joey and Darby team up against Havoc and they have him taped to a chair. That was pretty freaking funny. And I think I think this was the debut of AEW, of the tack on skateboard spot. The crowd was so shocked by this moment, and the crowd was so in awe and gross. But again though, dude, these spots were so great. There were so many fun table spots. Joey and Darby and Joey and Havoc looked great. Honestly, I would say that I was shocked that Havoc won. Because in 3 years, it went from pushing Havoc and Joey more than Darby Allin to then Darby being one of the current best top guys in AEW. You gotta appreciate the growth in 3 years. In 3 years, Darby went from the underdog to then partying with Sting as his manager pretty much, or his tag partner, if you will, to then having feuds with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. He had the privilege to face CM Punk in his first match in 7 years. Bit weird having Havoc win over Darby and Joey. Overall, hot take, I feel like Havoc was not that great, but he shined in this match because he had Joey and he had Darby Allin too. But again, the overall, very good, fun match. It wasn't that long. It was I think 15 minutes. It was a good, fast-paced. I also love, of course, the now iconic, if you will, the barrel spot. Very, very fun spot. Very, very iconic now. I would say overall, I would say 4 stars because I did not expect Havoc to win. I thought it was going to be Darby because now I'm used to Darby Allin being more of a pillar. Yeah, I would say overall 4 out of 5 stars. Now, this is the Dark Order versus the Best Friends, and wow. It is so strange seeing the Dark Order from 2019 because honestly, man, their first year was pretty bad until 2020. This team was bad, okay? The gimmick was so goofy, the booking was so strange. But the two teams, again, to me, it lacked heat, it lacked suspense, and there were some good spots. Trent is awesome, Chuck's awesome. It wasn't a whole lot to even talk about. And this one is for the first ever AEW Women's Championship, Cheetah versus Riho. And honestly, I thought this was going to be a banger. I thought this would be 5 stars, honestly, because they're both awesome talents. But turns out it was alright. It was a good match. It wasn't anything great, but it was still a fun, decent match. I feel like they could have used some more heat, some more fun, some more the heat. There was no heat in this match. When you have a face against face match, either it's very, very fun, very, very great, or it's very boring and lacks heat. That's why you need a feel and a face. So personally, I would say good match. It needed some more time. Riho as champion, her reign was kind of lackluster. It wasn't her fault. No, she is great in the ring, but I feel like TK really lacked pushing Riho to where she was capable of. It was cool seeing a glimpse of Cheetah and Riho. Cheetah had a way better reign as champion. She was champion for over 1 year. Seeing her run versus Riho was kind of night and day. We still had a first, and first was pretty darn good of a choice. I'll say this match is 3.5 stars. Next, it is the chairman, Shawn Spears, versus Cody. Not Cody Rhodes, Cody. Because at this time, they did not own the right to Rhodes. And I gotta say, the hype was actually very good for this match because it felt so personal. And of course, the chair shot from Fight for the Fallen was a very weird moment because seeing Rhodes getting bopped in the head was awesome. This match, though, was very, very good. It had a old school vibe to it, where it was your basic heel, your basic face. Very good stuff, very old school. I loved it. I loved their battle in the crowd. I loved their very good close calls. I loved their chemistry. It's kind of sad that Shawn Spears wasn't ever pushed to what he could have been, because at the time he was hyped to be this giant heel, but he was kind of pushed aside after this feud pretty much, you know? And also, it was weird seeing MJF being a face with Cody. That was just weird. MJF in 3 years, going from he was Cody's side buddy, his sidekick, to then the biggest heel in the business, had an amazing feud with Cody, with CM Punk down the line, and then he dropped that fire pipe bomb and then left. I would say this match overall 4 out of 5 stars. Very good match, so personal. I love that Cody won because I'm a giant fan of Cody Rhodes. And also, it was so weird that Cody Rhodes in 3 years built up AEW. He had a lot of good feuds at first, and then he kind of got a bit mixed in the shuffle after he lost to Jericho at Full Gear that year and couldn't compete for that belt ever again. So instead, he was given the mid-card belt. He had an awesome run, but then he got into some very funky feuds with that boxer guy, Anthony Ogogo. Very strange feud. And now he's back to being with Raw. The Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks and that iconic ladder match for the AAA Tag Team Championships. I gotta say, this is by far the match of the night. My God, what a classic. This was so freaking good. Oh my lord, every year I watch this match. So many great spots. These two teams have such perfect chemistry. I tell you what, oh my lord, the spot after spot, and of course that iconic spot between Pentagon Jr. and Nick Jackson. You know the spot. It was a great match. If you have to watch one match, watch this one. These two by far have the best chemistry, possibly of the last 20 years of tag team wrestling. These two teams have been so amazing across the entire globe. 5 out of 5 stars match. On to the main event, Chris Jericho versus Adam Hangman Page for the first ever AEW World Championship. Wow, the hype for this match was pretty surreal, but it was pretty obvious that Jericho would beat Page. It was so obvious. This match, though, catapulted the 1.5 year storyline between Omega and Page. This was Page's first ever big program with AEW because he won the Casino Battle Royale. Jericho beat Omega clean. Good match. It was very, very solid. He wasn't ready for that World Championship gold yet because he is so over now. It was his first ever major match in this company, and these two have good chemistry. The match was good. The brawling was great. I loved the finish, and I gotta say, man, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, with all of that, I will say this: good show, good pay-per-view. It was a very solid show, and I'm excited for this year's All Out. Who's gonna win, Moxley or CM Punk? I had no idea. I love Punk, I love Moxley, who knows? This show, though, was a very fun show. It was paced well. Besides the Dark Order versus Best Friends, every match was very, very good, very fun, very solid to watch. I enjoyed pretty much everything of this show. I would say that some of the booking was a bit weird every here and there, but man, Darby, Joey, and Havoc was great. That iconic Bros versus Bucks match, phenomenal freaking match. Pac and Omega beginning their hot feud was awesome as well. Cody and Shawn had a classic, amazing pay-per-view. I would say overall, 8 out of 10. It was a great pay-per-view. Guys, go watch it. It's free on YouTube. I promise you, it's very, very fun wrestling. I am your host, Justin, from the Heel Spiel and J&J podcast. Have a great night, and of course, as always, love that wrestling.